The Department of Homeland Saturday night, 109 people had been detained, but it has yet to follow through on a New York judge's order to release a list of all people still being detained, including travelers who may have arrived on U.S. soil Sunday. The result? Mass confusion, said Lee Gelernt, deputy director of the ACLU's Immigrants' Rights Project who argued the case in New York. The government took no steps to make sure that people understood what the order means and how it should be implemented. Trump just threw it out there without ensuring that it would be implemented fairly and even-handed and properly. Protests against Trump's immigration plan rolling in more than 30 cities. The White House and Homeland Security countered that they provided new guidelines to agents working at airports and that only a small fraction of travelers were affected by the order. On Saturday, when asked about the rollout of his executive order, Trump said it's working out very nicely. And several White House officials appeared on Sunday talk shows to say that civil rights groups were blowing the confusion out of proportion. So where do things really stand? A ruling issued late Saturday by U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly in New York barred Customs and Border Protection officials across the country from deporting any immigrants, including refugees and legal immigrants from the 7 predominantly Muslim countries targeted in Trump's order, so long as they hold a valid visa. That order dealt only with immigrants who had already arrived in the U.S. or were already in transit. Homeland Security said it would comply with that order, but made clear it would continue carrying out Trump's executive order, meaning they will try and stop any other refugees or legal immigrants from the 7 countries listed in the president's order from heading to the U.S. Lawyers will soon begin arguing the overall legality of Trump's executive order, a possibly weeks-long process that will ultimately determine whether the order is allowed to stand. Experts question legality of Trump's immigration ban on Muslim countries. But much remains unclear. Part of the problem has been the lack of information coming from the Departments of Homeland Security and State. The first official mention of the new guidelines to appear online came from an Arabic-language Twitter account run by the State Department. It sent out 3 tweets on Saturday instructing citizens from the 7 countries listed in Trump's order not to travel to the U.S., pay any visa fees or show up for visa interviews. The tweets did not mention, however, that those with permanent resident status, or green card holders, from those countries are still allowed to enter the U.S. Homeland Security said it provided new guidance to all of its